I just want to go ahead and talk about this. Use it as yet another learning experience. This ain't even something to just try to get mad over. I just want you guys to learn from what's going on. Okay, so we're gonna look at this now. You know that the son of Kal-El. I knew, backtracking just a little bit, I knew that they were gonna make him to a homosexual. Um, Long before it happened. I had inside information on that. We talked about that on stream a couple of times. I knew that. Of course, it came out. John Kent, who is now Superman, is now homosexual. In the same book, he is now tackling climate change. Some of these signs that they're holding up doesn't even make sense. For example, there's no Planet B when there literally was one, which is hilarious. If you look at okay, why my don't knows audios on? All right, we turn it off. I'll read that here in a little bit. But anyway, seriously, there is one, multiple, but no, particularly with B, when you understand like the Earth A and all of that was happening pre-crisis. So I don't even know what the fuck. Maybe Tom Taylor or whoever idea was for the cover doesn't even read DC comic books, and I wouldn't be surprised at that. Anyway, all things considered, and yeah, Crisis was supposedly merging all the worlds, but yeah, then they went back on that because DC didn't know what the fuck they're doing. Try to correct the problem only to make the same mistake again. But all this does is show, and you're looking at this right here, and as the screen rant is documenting, it says upcoming issue, Superman, Son of Kal-El, will be tackling the important issue of climate change. Now, of course, there's only one narrative regarding climate change that is acceptable, and that is that it exists and that it's all induced by men. Anything to the contrary it's just fake news. Let them tell it. But what you're seeing right now is what I had and people like myself had called out, and why it was so important to maintain some sort of like presence in culture. And this isn't unlike what we've seen before, because yeah, when you look at comic books, definitely American comic books, and the levels of like propaganda that it existed in those. But what we're seeing now is that it's one-sided, right? It's controlled by the authoritarian left, and whatever their sort of mainstream narratives are, that's what they're trying to push forward using these characters. And it's funny, man. And I'm not saying this to take shots. I'm just being honest with you guys. DC has perfected the art of the nostalgia bait, right? And what I mean by that is that despite knowing that they're doing shit like that, they did the DC fandom thing. They come out with the Batman. And then you got the same people who look at this and say this is dumb as fuck. And you look at the mistakes they continue to make, they get googly eyed again, right? It's like they have no frame of focus, right? It's dude, you know this company is trying to reel you in so they can fuck you over, right? And more so, they depend on your viewership, your money, your investment in order to continue to be culturally as influential as they are. Okay? That's so important to them. So what they do is the people that have grown up on this, the people that have liked this stuff in the past, they depend on you guys constantly getting excited and enthusiastic about everything it is that they do. Okay? So I encourage you obviously not to fall for it. I'm not one of those guys to tell you what my rule, I say 49, 50%, 51%, excuse me. 51% going to people that don't hate you. Now, Tom Taylor, I know a lot of folks, he's kind of been facilitating this whole entire gay Superman, climate change, all this shit. I feel he was always an overrated writer, severely. People are like surprised, like, oh man, he just fell from grace. Like, nah, he never really was that good, to be fair. But you see now what he's about. Same thing, he's wearing like the S with the rainbow and stuff. That's what y'all know. That's why they did that, right? That tells you why they did it, that they already have merchandise for it. Like when the book comes out, he's doing his rounds, interviews and stuff, and he already has the rainbow on the S for that specific reason. This is about agenda, and it's heavy-sided one way. This ain't even one of those, well, it's always been about politics. Jackass, that ain't the problem. The problem is more so that there is no sort of outlier really right now. Everything is slanted to the one side because that's the side that controls it. So of course they're going to use Superman to put out all of this shit that kind of reassures what it is that they genuinely believe in from a social political view. Okay. They use that again. It's the nostalgia bait aspect. They use that, but they understand how iconic these characters are. And if they can use them to put forth their personal or rather individual agendas, then, well, maybe they gain some sort of ground. I don't know. But the reason I'm telling you this and I'm showing you this is because I don't want you to fall for them. These people deserve to be mocked and shamed. Okay? Don't fall for the nostalgia bait. They deserve to be mocked and fucking shamed. Now, my objective here going into the future is to, of course, compete with those guys. I want to compete. I can't wait till we get in a position where we can do that. But you're seeing what they're doing. Every bit of, it's not even the attention, because I ain't one of those guys. I've worked in, doing all the things that I do. I understand a thing or two about marketing. This whole all publicity is good publicity it's one of the most retarded things that I've ever heard, because bad publicity can completely ruin a brand, and we've seen it happen. So anybody that's saying that is generally a person that doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Anyway, on a serious note, they nostalgia bait you so they can do stuff like this, right? Hey, we know you guys know we're doing stupid shit, but here's this one thing that, it may look halfway decent, and it may be dead on arrival, but it may be halfway decent. I'm not as excited about the Batman as some of you guys are, considering the fact that I don't like this whole, I've never liked this whole, we're trying to modernize shit. If that's the final, if they're going out with this Zodiac Killer Riddler shit, I'm not taking that fucking shit seriously. This whole, we need to modernize thing. We need to, shut the fuck up. That ain't the fucking real. I don't know who the fuck that guy is. Anyway, but they do stuff like that. You fund them. You invest in that. Those projects then fund gay climate change Superman. It's a simple process. So I say, and I encourage you, make fun of them. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I make fun of them, mock them, and shame them. But don't fall for the nostalgia bait, because it's just going to get you more of this. They understand how powerful, culturally significant Superman is, and that's why they're doing what it is they're doing. Simple. You just watched a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake. Catch us live at 12 p.m. throughout the week over at youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and follow us over at odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. If you want to watch the entire video cast after the show is over, just be sure to become a member on the YouTube channel. Of course, the full audio portion of the podcast is available for free on all major digital platforms, or just visit forcanonsake.com.